Paolo and Franz Wagner combined for 62 points. Their bench scored 30 points. The Lakers gave up a 7-0 run to end that first half. They were up 9. And then that third quarter was all Orlando. Big game, 34-18. And the Lakers just not able to make that up in the fourth. Tough night.
It just goes to show you how critical those last 3 or 4 minutes, 2 minutes of the second quarter is. When you have a 9-point lead and there's 3 minutes to go, you can't put it on cruise control. You got to try to get that to 12 or 14 even. That's when you got to step on them. That's unacceptable when you're on the road, the first road trip, and it just seemed like it wasn't enough intensity on the defensive end. Wagner, Paolo, they're good. I mean, they're big, they're strong, and they presented some problems in matchups. But I just didn't think the Lakers reacted with a sense of urgency, having lost, 3 in a row and then being the first game on the road where you had a chance to put a cushion on that 9-point lead. You gave them the momentum, and they came and took the game from them.
I just thought it was just too much Paolo and Franz. 32 and 30. You think about that
Black at 17.
Yeah, off the bench, he had 17. I never even heard of Mr. Black before tonight. And so you look at when you have the two superstars able to score 30, because you think about when our two superstars score 30 or more points, we usually get a win. We get so caught up on shooting threes. You playing a team like Orlando, who's really not, it gets, by law, by paper, it says a good defense. But name one play on that team outside of KCP that would scare you defensively. Nobody. Sometimes you have to take advantage of that. I think tonight we just settled for too many outside shots.
Yeah, a little worried about the Laker defense right now. Giving up 146 to Chicago 2 nights ago. Not exactly a high-powered offense. And giving up 118 to Orlando tonight. This team was dead last in points per game. And big picture, Lakers now only 2.5 games above Minnesota for 7th. What have we been saying for months? Whatever you do, do not end up in that play-in tournament. Lakers, back-to-back tough losses to teams below 500 in the East. Definitely got to put together some wins with 3 games left in this road trip.
Yeah, let's talk a little Paolo. Paolo had 30. Franz Wagner had 32. These two guys were awesome. Rob, 9 of 17 for Paolo, but also the 7 rebounds, getting to the free throw line. He is big. He's physical. Franz Wagner, also great player. And those two just at the top of their game tonight.
Well, when you talk about athletic guys, young athletic guys, these two guys are at the top of that list. You talk about Franz, what he did to us the last time in our building in the game winner. This guy has, when you think of sometimes player, you think about, his brother. But no, this dude is 10 times better than his brother. He can put on the floor, he can get to the hole, he can shoot threes, he can put you on skates and score on top of you. And he has an attitude like nobody can stop. So I like this guy because when you talk about cocky and you put it on the court and you show it and you back it up, this guy's one of those guys. And this young team, I think if they didn't have all those injuries, think about last year what they was able to do in the playoffs. This is a good team, and sometimes you forget. You look at a record sometimes, the record doesn't dictate what kind of team this is. This is a really good team, and I think they showed it tonight.
Brez, Orlando was charged up, by the way, so Dwight Howard, who won a ring with the Lakers, obviously, was getting inducted into the Orlando Hall of Fame, and this was after the game. Let's focus on the Lakers, guys. Losers of 3 in a row. They've lost 7 of 10. You got Indiana and the Bulls on a back-to-back coming up.
Yeah.
Those are tough games. And then obviously at Memphis, and you come home, you face the Rockets. So a crucial stretch here. Big game. Brez had mentioned the defense, trying to figure out roles again once guys get healthy and have come back. That always takes a little bit to navigate through. But, they've been a little streaky, no question about it. And this is a crucial time, so you can start to look at the standings and see a little bit of slip, obviously.
Yeah, a little bit too streaky for my comfort because a team that, built their reputation of late, particularly after the trade of AD and Max, on small ball defense. Hayes, Rui, guys getting the job done collectively, steals, quickness. And that seemed to have kind of taken a little nap, in these last few games that they've lost. They got to figure out how to way to let that be their number one priority. I mean, offensively, they're not going to have a problem scoring. But when you can only score 18 points and the other team is just doing whatever they want, that's that's something to be concerned about, especially when you're on the road. The only thing you have on the road is your defense intensity. And if you don't have that, you can't make stops. You got a problem.
Yeah, I look at the defense, and you think about, you look down the line, you're like, okay, how many block shots did the Lakers have tonight? 1. Oof. How many steals did the Lakers have tonight? 7. You know, that's a sign of how hard you are playing defense. If you think about what Dodo and Vando can do, get in the pass lane, what LeBron can do in the pass lane, it seemed like that intensity wasn't there. I don't know if because, you know, Vando is that guy who comes out the bench and livens him up defense. He got in foul trouble. He kind of didn't have that same intensity. But to me, the defense tonight was kind of like, okay, we're going to do this. In that zone, I don't know if they need to just scrap that because they shot them out of that zone. They stayed in it. And for me, if something's not working, especially like a zone, you got to move back to what you're used to, and that's man-to-man defense. And that was one of the things that I look at them like, are they still in the zone? Are they getting waxed like this and they still in the zone? So it didn't make sense to me.
The Laker bench, 14 points. Outscored by Anthony Black, 17-14. So the bench, you know, Dalton Connect didn't play a lot, didn't score a lot. He's been pretty good lately.
He only got 5 minutes. So
you got all these guys coming back, so you got to hope the bench kind of picks up where they should be, because, you know, 14 points, it's not a good total for any game.
All right, big game, Rob. Let's talk a little LeBron. We're not hearing from him tonight, but he is back now. Played 38 minutes. Was an efficient 9 of 18, also 6 rebounds and 7 assists. You've watched now both games, James. Did you see a difference tonight, just in the way he attacked, or starting to get back in the flow?
I think he's almost back. I didn't see the LeBron like that explosiveness, that intensity over a long period of time. And so, like, glimpses of it. So I think he's still trying to get back. But, you know, there's no question he was out for a week or two. And, you know, he's back. His stamina looks pretty good. He's strong. He doesn't seem to be laboring at all. So that's a good sign. But I think he's still getting used to, you know, being back. Doesn't get any calls. Never gets any calls. But it never gets any texts either. I'd have to get me a text a week if I won't get any calls like that. But, you know, he's set out. He watched Luka play. He kind of allowed that to happen. Now he's back trying to, you know, not reinvent himself, but just get re-familiarized with what's been going on the last couple of weeks without him.
And I think the players are trying to get to knowing him again. Because so many times, you know, the players forget that LeBron brings a different game to the game.
He does.
You know what I mean? And so he never know what he's going to do because it's not one thing on the court he cannot do. And for me, I think that's one of the things, because Luka and Austin Reeves, they were having fun without LeBron. They were taking a lot of shots. You know, they can get in their rhythm. Now that LeBron's back, you know, the big dog, you got to share that well. And you can tell tonight, especially with AR, it was kind of like a little what do I do moments there. But I think it's going to take some time. You know, I know
Rui too, missing all those.
And Rui.
So figure out his role again.
Yeah, you know, like I said in pregame, it's just going to take some time for these guys to get everything going. But you can see when they were 100 how good they can be.
Yeah, but as James said, defense is the one thing you have to bring.
You got to bring that.
And you know, AR just talked about it. It's got to be consistent.
And it's got to be every night.
Spurts is, you know, can't get down. Teams are going to score. And you just have to keep playing consistent defense.
Foul trouble didn't help much tonight with Vanderbilt getting out early and fouls. You know, you got to do it without fouling, but that's the thing that Orlando presents. They're coming at you. Wagner's coming at you. Powell's coming at you. You know, they're a decent team. So the Lakers just got really out-muscled tonight, but they got to figure out how to bring that defense. From the beginning, you had a 9-point lead. That, to me, lets me know you just kind of had a mental letdown, let them back in the game.